somewhere else, but this is where we found ourselves. Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Welcome to another edition of the Local Show here on GrassRoots Community Network. Thanks for joining us, guys. We're each week here live from Aspen, Colorado. We bring you inspirational locals. What I mean by that is local Valley residents in the Roaring Fork Valley pursuing their dreams, having success, sharing that with you guys. So excited to feature a musician returning to the show. He's also my neighbor, Dan. Welcome back, Dan.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you. And we are neighbors of the Upper East Side of Aspen, otherwise known as the Smuggler Neighborhood.
The Smuggler Neighborhood, we call it the Lower Red Mountain Estates.
Otherwise known as Lower Red Mountain Estates. But I haven't seen you in the hood very often this summer.
This is
so
true.
What's going on?
I know you have an old dog, too.
My old girl, Luna, who wishes she could be here today.
I know.
She needed to take a little break.
I know, I get it. My Chloe, my beloved Chloe, my Basset Hound mix, whom I love dearly and have slept with because she's so long and warm on cold winter nights. But she's so old now that she can't even make it up to the mailboxes. She can't even make it up to the newspapers. So I literally have to pick her up and put her in the yard and then bring her back in. But she's still happy. So, you know, I'm letting her go. And I've learned not to let a dog go too far. Yeah. But she's still a happy girl, you know, and she's not in pain. And she eats and smiles.
Still has a quality of life.
She has a good quality of life, so. Yeah.
Such a tough call, though. I'd been through that several times myself, where you're kind of like, you know, Luna's getting up towards 15, but she's still getting around, still enjoying life. Got a little arthritis, but we're working with it. Well, just started her on some new CBD treats, so we'll see how that goes.
Good. Keep me posted
with her
on that.
krill oil and glucosamine supplement, which was recommended by the vets.
Okay.
The CBD thing, they're not going to really talk about that as much, you know, but you just try it.
Right.
You know, I research and look at the reviews and stuff like that. So, anyway, how's your summer been? It's been a pretty interesting summer. It's been a lot of fun. It's been beautiful.
It's been so nice. What I want to say about my summer, and thank you for asking, is I have 2 kids. My daughter Katie is 17. She's a senior at Aspen High. And my son Jack is 19, and he goes to school in Gunnison at Western State.
Okay.
And we live in a tiny place, and it was a busy summer. We're all working, and I drove him back to college last Sunday, and I dropped him off, and it's his sophomore year, so it wasn't too traumatic. And I got back home, and I walked in his room, and I just started crying because I realized that the whole summer went by, and I really didn't do the things I wanted to do with my kids. And I just worked too much. I'm very thankful for the work, but maybe you experienced that too. But it was so busy that I wrote a note and I left it on the fridge. Don't work so much in the summer, you know. Time is precious, you know. Take time out to do the things you like. So my summer was great. Thankful for the work, but we need more fun time.
Yeah, more family time.
More family
time. Never
time.
enough time for the fam.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have family nearby, but I want to take more time to visit my brothers, and we're going to get together in a couple weeks. That being said, up in northern Wisconsin in the Northwoods.
Must be fun.
Annual fishing trip. Oh,
Bass,
it's amazing.
Walleye fishing?
Walleye mostly, but also some largies and smallies, and
fun.
panfish. And
good.
I'm not going to say the exact area, but it's really gorgeous. There's over 14,000 lakes.
Don't tell them which lake in the 14,000.
We don't want to get it. Every place inundated. But I really enjoyed that. So you played a lot of music. You had a lot of good shows. And
I did. You know, they're all different, and it keeps it fun.
Yeah.
So some are fancy, some are bars once in a while, some are whatever it might be. But speaking of which, this Friday, which is September 9th, I'm playing at the Pitkin County Library.
Nice.
I've never done that before. And they're having like a little singer-songwriter thing with myself, Tom Russell, my good friend, and Steve Koch.
Nice.
He's a librarian over there. And it's Friday at 5:30. So some folks have asked me, you know, where are you playing? Where can I see you? So come there. It would be great to see you all, old friends. And yeah, library gig.
Have you ever played there before at the library?
Nope. I don't even know if they've had music there before.
We don't need to bring our library cards, do we? Just To see,
They
to
will
check
see,
you out?
No, to see if you have any old library books.
I might be at risk if I show my face.
Here he is. Eric's here.
So what's your favorite kind of venue? Besides the Pickett County Library?
You know, I'm looking forward to that. I really am.
Kind of those intimate, local, hardcore local.
You know, because
venues.
I do two kinds of things. If I play an event, I can play popular songs for hours. And I love doing that, from whatever, Paul Simon to James Taylor to Coldplay to U2, just making up my own versions of those songs.
Nice.
But obviously my favorite stuff is to do the songs I've written.
Yeah.
They're close to me. And I never do those songs if it's just kind of like a corporate event, because, you know, they're precious. And but when I play at the library, it'll be some of my own material.
And we're going to hear some of that today,
Sure.
including a little bit of small town love.
I'll do that for
A small
you.
part of small town love.
We'll do a little brief small town love.
We're going to take a quick break,
Okay.
Dan. We're going to get rehydrated for some amazing music and conversation, guys. So we're going to go to our only break in the local show. I want to thank our summer underwriters for making this series happen throughout June, July, August, September, including Gonzo Nation, Haiti Children, City of Aspen, Pickett County Landfill, Sundog Athletics, Klug Properties, and Highlands Ale House. We want to go to our quick break. Guys, we'll be back in 2 minutes. Live music, including some small town love with Dan Sheridan, so don't go away. Support for the local show comes from the City of Aspen, reminding you that you can significantly reduce your carbon footprint by composting food scraps. When food is buried in the landfill, it produces extremely potent greenhouse gas emissions that adds to the trapping of heat in our atmosphere. You can become a climate change warrior by joining our compost program today. Learn more at aspen.gov.
The Gonzo Foundation is a nonprofit organization created to promote literature, journalism, and political activism through the legacy of Hunter S. Thompson, and is a proud supporter of the local show and GrassRoots TV. For more information, visit thegonzofoundation.org.
Locally owned and located at the base of Aspen Highlands, Highlands Ale House features delicious scratch-made comfort food, cocktails, beer, and more. Their sunny outdoor deck is ski in, ski out. 2 miles from Aspen, they're open daily, winter and summer.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Donate, shop, and save. The Mother Lode Mercantile, now open at the Pickett County Landfill.
Celebrating our 26th anniversary, Sundog Athletics is your opportunity to experience Aspen's most amazing adventure locations and gain new skills to increase your safety, performance, and enjoyment while mountain biking, road biking, hiking, and paddling on Aspen's exclusive canoeing adventure. Like Sundog Athletics on Facebook for fresh adventure updates.
Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
We're back here on the local show. Thanks for sticking with us, guys, as we work our way into September, our final month of the summer series. And I'm so excited to be here with my neighbor, Dan, in the house. State of the Hood, I like to call these shows.
State of the Hood.
State of the neighborhood, state of the community.
Right.
I want to talk, I want to hear Small Town Love, which
Okay.
is one of your more popular
Well,
songs
thank
and
you.
name of one of your albums,
It is.
correct?
And Aspen is the small town.
So what are some of the things that you still love most about, even though with all the changes,
Yeah.
we've heard about a lot of them,
I love
know
a-
about them.
I love a
what
lot
things
of
you still
things.
love most?
Sure. Well, always, and the reason most of us live here is the outdoors and the environment,
Yeah.
you can just be outside in Mother Nature in like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And as you can take it as far as you want. I was hiking up Pearl Pass last week and, hiking on the backside of Aspen Mountain, and it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing, and it always will be. Also, the people are so kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aspen's great. Love it.
The access is incredible. Over 70% of the land surrounding Aspen is public.
That's wonderful.
So whether it's city, county, U.S. Forest Service, open space,
Right.
that access, you're right. And the other thing is the people that still make, like yourself and the people we talk about and talk to every week on the local show,
Yeah.
still here.
I know.
So it's like, as much as it's changed, as
Right.
much as a lot of the localness has been kind of washed away,
Right.
there's still so many
know.
thousands of locals that are still here.
I was thinking, if I just go out to City Market or take a walk
Yep.
in town, I always run into the most amazing people.
Exactly.
That's wonderful. Yet that doesn't happen in most places.
That City Market produce section for me is at least half my social.
It is.
It's just a blast. Sometimes I don't get out of there for an hour.
Right.
It's like,
I think it'd be interesting just to stand in front of City Market and just be social.
yeah.
It's,
It's
instead of going to a bar, just City Market.
It's still a small town that way.
Yeah.
We have big city aspects and urbanization in certain ways, and big city amenities, which we
I know.
love.
It's awesome.
Like the Wheeler, like the
Right.
Belly Up, like the incredible restaurants that are
know.
world class.
That's great.
So speaking of small town love,
Sure. I know
you
what
ready
you're going
to
to say.
share a little bit?
This is a song I wrote about Aspen, and it's called Small Town Love. If you were to climb up Smuggler and look down, you just see this, it looks like Whoville from Dr. Seuss, doesn't it?
It does.
You can kind of hear like a little hum coming from the city. Have you noticed that?
I have.
It's kind of like when your guitar amplifier's on or something.
And at night, if you looked out in the winter and saw the Sardi House tree, that
Yeah.
would be the tree in the middle of
Aw,
Whoville.
I
So we're going to
know.
go all the way on that metaphor. on that.
So I just went up there and I just got a little notebook and I wrote this song. And here it is. We'll do part of it.
Love it.
It's hard enough to act your age when every day's a blank page. Every day is different than before. And I might have missed my big break. We were swimming in the lake, living life, that's what it's for. But I feel complete. A small town is enough for me. I've seen it from the hill up above. Down there in the glow, well, everything is nice and slow. I'll never leave my small town love. Small town love. That's just the first verse.
I love it. I love it.
Thanks, man.
So loving Aspen, what does that mean in terms of giving back?
Oh.
Because right, when we love someone or something, we want to give
Right.
back. And
Right.
like, what are your favorite ways to kind of, besides your music, which is such a
Thank you,
huge
thank
share?
you. I do every
part of our
benefit
community?
that I can. I'm doing one here in a couple weeks in Pepke Park. Forgive me, I wish I could say what it's for, but I apologize.
I'm sure we'll see it.
It'll be in Pepke Park. It's for one of the health and human services groups and
Okay.
mental health,
Nice.
which I care about quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I do Meals on Wheels as much as I can, and it's a blast.
So
Today,
you deliver
I
food?
deliver Meals on Wheels
I didn't
when
know
I can.
that.
I used to be the regular guy, and if life is tough, I guarantee if you do some kind of service or help someone else, it is the best medicine. So it's just so fun, and a lot of folks, we don't see them because they're inside, and especially with COVID, they need to be careful. So I do that as much as I can.
That's incredible.
Speaking of service, someone said, "Hey, can you give me a guitar lesson? Just a beginner." And I did that earlier, and I said, "Absolutely." And when I left there, I felt so uplifted.
Right.
It really works. So giving back, I get more out of it than I give, that's for sure.
Well, that's an interesting one because the guitar playing, it's like you don't just give them a guitar. The old, don't just give a man a fish, teach him how to fish.
Right.
when you teach someone, you bring them along for your ride.
Exactly.
Like I brought people along with mountain biking and
Right.
different kinds of cycling through my full-time job, Sundog Athletics. That's so much better, right? That it's just not your stoke
Right.
and your selfish, which is wonderful
Right.
to have these pursuits.
And I'm sure you get this natural high out of sharing your
Huge.
love for the mountains, for riding, for hiking, and to see someone else, their eyes light up and they just, it's a great feeling.
Exactly. I like to say, when they light up like a light bulb, so do I. And when it becomes part of their life from that point forward, there's never any guarantees, of course.
Right.
But when you see them maybe later, like years later in my
Right.
case, because I've been doing this for 26 years.
Right.
I rode with a bunch of people this summer. I've been riding with 25 years, 15 years,
Oh my gosh.
10 years. And to see their progression over
Right.
time, it's incredibly rewarding and satisfying. That's what just brings me the joy of doing what I do and doing what you do, sharing it,
Yeah.
right?
I love to do benefits.
So do you have a particular, like you talked about mental health, do you have particular, things that you really, causes that you really support?
Preserving open space, anything
Yeah.
for the environment.
Yes.
And there's so many kind-hearted, generous, wealthy people here who can really make a difference in this small town and up and down the valley. Very
Yeah.
generous people.
Well, we hear about some of the ways wealth cuts the good, the bad, and the ugly in Aspen, but so much good. 400 nonprofits based here. I
Really?
mean, obviously, there's a lot of consciousness.
I didn't know it was
It's over
400.
300 just in Aspen, over 400 in the Roaring Fork Valley. So obviously, there's a lot of caring,
Yeah.
compassion, philanthropy, which wouldn't be available otherwise.
Right.
So there's a lot of good.
That's what my wife did for many years.
So you got another song in you there, Dan?
Well,
Or-
sure.
I'm just going to let you call.
Okay.
You call it,
I
buddy.
just changed.
Whatever you feel like.
I'm doing an audible right now. I wrote this for my kids, and
Nice.
one gift I wanted to give them, which I felt was the most important gift of all, is just allowing them to be whoever they are,
Yeah.
whoever that person might be. And no pressure. They want to be a surgeon, great. They want to be a mechanic, great. Whatever their thing is, and because ultimately that's our biggest responsibility. So I'll just play a verse and a chorus of this one. It's called "Be the Light You Were Born to Be." Looking back on this lonely winter, talking to myself. Well, I was living with a lost connection I made with someone else. And yes, I'm glad to stay at home. Dad might have found himself. Be the light, be the light, be the light that you were born to be. Do we have time for another verse?
Sure.
And now I'm listening to my children laughing, playing on this beach. It has begun in the Mexican sun, something just like peace. Under the spell of every seashell that washed up just like me. Be the light, be the light, be the light that you were born to be.
Yeah, buddy. I
Thanks.
love that. I
Thank
love
you.
that. Man, I'll tell you, you can so many ways to approach life, philosophically, and we can, I describe kind of these now coming up in 40 years in a couple weeks. My anniversary is also on my birthday.
40 years.
September 18th, and I'll be a 40-year local of Aspen. And I almost describe it in some ways as fight or flight. Almost all my friends and girlfriends have taken flight over the years and have left, whether it's to move down valley and you never see them again, or
Right.
out of the valley and out of the
Right.
state, or whatever it is, but out of Aspen. and we kind of lose contact. And I'm like, as long as I'm here, and I'm fortunate to be here, thanks to APSHA, like over 4,000 or 5,000 locals, thanks to APSHA, we're here in those 3,500 housing units.
Right.
That I'm going to fight a good fight.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get a little emotional. It is emotional. When you love a place like we love it, I mean, what do you think in terms of shine the light, right?
Yeah.
As a part of that.
Right.
And be the difference. You had talked about this in the past about it. You had written a letter to yourself. If I'm ever that bitter old man, I'm going to leave Aspen. But how do you deal with that as you get older now in terms of your psychology of stay or go or what should I do?
Good
or do
question.
I be quiet? Am I apathetic? Am I an active
question.
citizen?
Well,
How do you
like
put
any
that-
place, any job, any relationship, there's going to be good things and there's going to be things that that stress you out. For me, stress, it comes from driving. So I only use my car when I have to.
Right.
I use my bike. I walk as much as I can. I have a little Vespa scooter. I took it up to the concert in Snowmass last weekend, which was fantastic.
Oh, awesome.
So I try not to drive. That would be a negative thing. I don't really like going to really super crowded places, so I just simply avoid them.
Yeah.
And if I'm getting aggro about anything, just like stop doing that. There you go.
Yeah, yeah, and I think just weighing in, like we're doing today, just saying, these are some, ways we approach living in the community. I think that when we, note problems or issues in the community to bring solutions, to offer something that's constructive criticism, I think is super important, right? I mean,
well, that's one of my solutions. If you guys are getting stressed out, which we all do, get out of the car.
Yeah.
You can walk from the post office to Clark's Market.
I think that's one of the biggest things is
I've seen
how
people
we move.
drive.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's interesting how Centennial's lot can empty out during the day.
Right.
Like, where is everyone driving when
Right.
most people work within Aspen?
Right.
But I think that's a lot of how we move ourselves around the community
Right.
relates to stress and our attitude
Right.
too. So that's a big thing. I think doing work that we love, is such a big source
I'm
of reward.
so thankful when you were doing the introduction of the show, local folks. I couldn't do what I do living in pretty much any other place.
Yeah.
And I'm just so fortunate, I have musical friends around the country that are so much more talented than I am, but I live here, so I get to do
Well, and we could have lived in other places and maybe had other opportunities, right? And as a musician, maybe you could have if you were willing to leave Aspen.
Maybe.
Do you wonder about that? Like, what if I was living in Nashville, or I was living in some other music town?
That's funny. There's a line in Small Town Love, I might have missed my big break, but I couldn't live outside this place.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that is just so worth it.
Or I wouldn't
being
live
here.
outside this place.
Right. What about, we're down to just a couple minutes to go, but goals for this winter, or what are you looking forward to this winter, including some of your goals?
Thank you.
Whether personally or professionally.
Right. I'm looking for balance. I have a hard time with balance. So I'm either working too much or there's too much time off, but I just want to balance. Have as much fun as I can, but work as much as I can, the right amount. But as you know, in this town, we kind of work in clumps, Right. Like my summer, I try to get as much money as I can to coast through the off season, to pick up at Thanksgiving. So we have to do these things. But that being said, I want to ski more. I just want to have more downtime to walk along the Rio Grande Trail. And just sometimes I like to go to North Star and just sit there, I don't always need to be doing like an activity or some kind of pleasure-seeking thing, just to be, so.
Forest bathing.
That's forest bathing. It's beautiful.
It's right on, right?
Right on.
So do you ever do tree hugging? And I've also started a new thing, tree high fives, I call it. Which means if you're biking or hiking, you high five a branch.
Right.
Now, I probably shouldn't admit that, maybe.
Right.
But are you into any contact with trees? Have you hugged a tree recently?
I'll be brief. I also like dirt bikes. I have a little tiny motorcycle that I used to have like when I was in high school. And speaking of trees, I was riding on a road. I never go on hiking trails, and I lost control of the bike and I fell into a bush.
Oh, geez.
But I had my helmet on. Didn't get hurt at all, except I landed on a bee's nest.
Uh-oh.
It was rough. The bees got in my helmet. I was running down the road, swatting bees off my body. It would have been a hysterical video. So bees inside your helmet, stinging your face.
Oh, my gosh.
It's really scary. So
Yeah. I went through a similar experience. I was marking the Grand Traverse course last Friday for the mountain run that comes over from Crested Butte to Aspen. There's the Sam Coffee Shrine towards the top of Aspen Mountain,
right
off the East Rim Trail.
Yep.
And I went in there, and there was like a little wooden box. I was actually reaching for this shot glass that was sitting there. I was like, just curious, like, what's this in here? And I just got swarmed instantly by wasps.
Right.
Multiple stings.
Me too.
And so you kind of gotta, be careful. And
did you run and do the dance?
I did. Yeah. The run, the SWAT. As they're just hammering me. And,
right.
It was just one of those things. My dog was attached to me.
Oh.
Because we have a ski journeying setup where we're harnessed together, which made it more interesting. I'm running, and Sammy's like, "What's going on?" So, anyway, well, I really appreciate you joining us. I did bake you some cookies, my friend, because I know that's mostly the reason that you come onto the show.
I like the bag.
So, this is now I learned that it's not just a recycle; it's an upcycle. If you take the product and use it for a greater use,
right.
So I'm claiming because my cookies are in there instead of just apples, that's a greater use. What do you think?
Right. I think it's upcycling.
You'll have to taste the cookies to find out if it's a greater use.
I think I should send my daughter to school and put her school lunch in there next.
I mean, hey, why not, right? It's a beautiful Ziploc action
It's got a
bag.
handle. It reminds me of my Scooby-Doo lunchbox.
So before we let you go, Dan, in just a few seconds, how do you stay so relaxed and calm and positive?
Oh, thank you for saying
Couple
that.
tips.
You have no idea what's going on up here.
You always
It's
seem
all
so
an act.
relaxed and positive.
Well, thank you for saying that. I'm just kinder with myself than I used to be. How's that?
I like
I
it.
know when I'm starting to get, when I need to be outdoors.
Yeah.
So I just do that, and
then you go.
I try not to stress. Like I said, if something's really stressing you out, if you can eliminate it from your life.
Yeah.
There's certain events I don't do anymore, like really high-stress weddings.
Right.
I just don't want to do it. It's too hard. So
I like it. More of the good, less of the bad.
exactly.
That works for you
It's
in
up
your
to-
heart.
It's up to me what we bring in and what we let go.
Did you have fun on the show today, buddy?
I had so much fun.
Thanks
I'm
for
psyched.
keeping me and the show in your life and not
Thank you.
letting us go.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you.
buddy.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you, Dan Sheridan, local singer, songwriter, legend extraordinaire, and thank you guys above all for watching this week on The Local Show.
The Gonzo Foundation is a nonprofit organization created to promote literature, journalism, and political activism through the legacy of Hunter S. Thompson and is a proud supporter of The Local Show and GrassRoots TV. For more information, visit thegonzofoundation.org.
Locally owned and located at the base of Aspen Highlands, Highlands Ale House features delicious scratch-made comfort food, cocktails, beer, and more. Their sunny outdoor deck is ski in, ski out. 2 miles from Aspen, they're open daily, winter and summer.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Donate, shop, and save. The Mother Lode Mercantile, now open at the Picken County landfill.
Celebrating our 26th anniversary, Sundog Athletics is your opportunity to experience Aspen's most amazing adventure locations and gain new skills to increase your safety, performance, and enjoyment while mountain biking, road biking, hiking, and paddling on Aspen's exclusive canoeing adventure. Like Sundog Athletics on Facebook for fresh adventure updates.
Welcome to